Good morning everyone. So I'm here alone today, so as much as I love having Cedar here, it's like a 10-minute job can take an hour. But it's fun, it burns him out, he sleeps good, so I'm more happy. He needs good sleep. But anyways, so today, just doing a couple of tasks. So I'm rejigging, if you turn around here, if you look there, I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to change it around and I'm going to make something a bit more fancy, just you wait and see. I'm going to move this hay pile over here. Oh, I'm dreading it because there's a reason why they call it hay fever, because around the hay harvest, people who are allergic to all the pollen and stuff would sneeze like crazy, and I know I'm going to sneeze like crazy. And I'll explain, I'll go deep about pollen and all sorts in a bit. But yeah, let's get cracking. So guys, so now look at my lovely potatoes, growing very well in old horse poo. I did have my doubts, but hey, I'm green fingered. So, here we have some, and the reason why I put some chicken wire on top is because a bird, I think I mentioned him on my last vlog, bird kept pecking at the potatoes, so it's quite annoying, so I did this, so hopefully, fingers crossed, once I've laid them up and they get too big. Oh look, a little caterpillar, not caterpillar, sorry, a ladybug pupa. Anyways, hope you can see me, this isn't on the way, is it? Anyways, when it comes to layering, potatoes, pretty much when you layer potatoes, when I say layering is the same as mounding. So what I do is get some compost or some old horse manure or some nice good kind of organic kind of loose soil, and you mound it on the side and leave a good maybe a couple of inches from the top, because what happens then is that the potato starts to create more roots, and what do potato roots create? Potatoes. So essentially just do this, easy peasy. Obviously be careful, you don't want to break the stems because then you're back to square one. And simply sprinkle it around your spuds. Have a look. It's always a way in it. You cut your nails when you have to do some fiddly ass thing with string. Anyways, good thing for these, eh? Right guys, I just got attacked by a horsefly and I'm not a fan. Ah, it's got me in my nipple. So I'm gonna start a fire, kill two birds, make some potash and get rid of horsefly. Also, if you're not sure what a horsefly looks like, I'm staring at one now. It's their time to shine. It's normally from about maybe beginning of June to about August. So it's a lot of short-lived life, but they're bloodsuckers. And there's horses over there. So with horses you get horseflies. I know there's one down here. As you can see, guys, the grass is a bit long, and I wouldn't feel good starting a fire knowing the grass is all long and dry and tinder fresh. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. I was supposed to do it last time, but 12 hours in the sun will make anyone go a bit bonkers. So I'm gonna put it away to avoid the horseflies. I say just keep moving. That bastard horsefly is still sitting there as well. I should punch him in the face. Fuck you. Right, if you saw that, I was swatting a horse trying to bite my leg. I don't know why, mosquitoes love me, horseflies love me. Flipping out. But anyways, I'm gonna mow the grass first because I can't be dealing with this. I can't be trying to do stuff and fighting for my life. So I'm gonna mow the grass and start a fire. So because many things don't like smoke. You know, you get those psychological itches. Maybe they're like twitching, like you're popping or something. Oh! So guys, here we have is a mulcher. It's not a mower, it's a mulcher. So I'm sure you guys have heard of mulching. Because what it essentially does is just cut the grass or cut wherever it's cutting and then mulches it and spreads it out. So basically essentially you're just feeding the grass. Because I'd recommend these because you save fuel as well. Because just think about when you use a mower, you mow, you stop, you collect, you start up again, you mow, you stop, you collect, you start up again, and you're essentially taking away all the goodness from the grass. Yes, you get your fancy lines if you've got your rollers and stuff, but compaction for grass only causes problems. And in the long run, as a gardener, you make a lot of money because you're rolling up, you've got to feed it, you've got to de-weed it, you've got all these things, you've got to aerate it, because that's one of the main things, aeration, aeration, aeration. I said it 3 times there. But with a mulcher, you don't get your fancy lines. If you go over the line twice, you might get a mediocre line, but at the same time, think of your grass, because your grass likes to be fed, and if you mow it regularly with a mulcher, it'll look thicker, it'll look green, you won't have to feed it as much, it's feeding itself, and it saves on fuel, so it just saves on the fossil fuels. Think about that, people. So yes, I mulch it any day. So let me just finish this off and then we can start the fire and get away from these blasted horseflies. So guys, that little gem was a cinnabar moth, or is a cinnabar moth. Yeah, it can be taken as a butterfly, but because it looks vibrant and it's pretty and it's a bit like, ooh, but yeah, it's lovely. And it's weird because the caterpillar's black and yellow, which is kind of like just a contrast, just a clash, just like, well, you come from that. It's a bit weird. But anyways, yeah, I don't know what they do, but I tend to find them on Seneccio vulgaris, or common name is groundsel. And I used to weed that plant religiously all the time until one day I was here and I was just like, you know what, let me just let it go and see what happens. And it attracts hoverflies, it attracts like solitary bees, wasps, all sorts, and cinnabar moths. And they lay their larvae on there and then they hatch out and they just nibble the hell out of it. So it's a good thing, it's a good plant, look into it. Seneccio vulgaris, I'll leave it at the bottom of the screen. And funny enough, the other day I was having a conversation with another fellow YouTuber. She's got a great page, her name's Homegrown Gardens. She's got a lovely allotment up in Nottingham, and yeah, she's doing good stuff, so check her out. And it's weird, in just this little patch here I found like a cinnabar moth, there's like a stink bug, there's bonking beetles, there's all sorts, there's aphids, blue bottles, the lot on this small patch. But I shouldn't feel too bad because essentially the whole bit around me is a dedicated meadow. So and look, don't know what this guy is. Let's bowl all the bugs out today. Also, we talk about meadows another day because they're kind of in decline. Break it down quickly. They're in decline, but at the same time, let's bring them back. Just leaving a little wild patch. I know you guys love your fancy lawns, but even just a small section. You see the diversity in just this small section here is incredible. Like there's so many. I've seen damselflies now. More things popping out. There's ladybirds, more horseflies. But at the same time, like yeah, it's a great space. That just you wait till that meadow vlog. It's coming soon. Yeah, some would I was a bit skeptical about having a public footpath through the land, but you get some nice people. Well, pretty much everyone's a bit nice. Well, I say that, but some people walk past, they don't say nothing to you. But hey, that's how the world is sometimes. Rude. So guys, fire sorted. So you must be wondering why a fire over there can stop horseflies from getting me here. Well, I'll show you. Ta-da-da-da! We have a fire here. Yes, I know it's on grass, but trust me, there's loads of water underneath there. I've saturated the ground and it's only going to singe about maybe a couple of inches around it. Plus I've got copious amounts of water here. But basically when I see a horsefly approach me or I keep doing all this kind of thing, giving all the karate chop, I just run over here and stand around the fire. It can't take the heat or the smoke and we're safe. Yeah, so that's a little solution for, plus I'm making potash, I'm making biochar at the same time, so yeah, it's a win-win for me. So guys, you ready for the big reveal? Drum roll please. Ta-da! Yeah mate, Harris fencing. So someone was chucking this out on Facebook and I thought, you know what, I have to have this thing. So you think it's a bit overkill, but at the same time, beans will grow up this fine. You don't have to have some fancy bean tower that looks like I don't know, just over the top. I just find it just, if it's practical, it works. I'm very much like that kind of. I'd rather kind of it being practical than it being really, really pretty. And to have like morning glory, some mange too, some runner beans growing up this, will look amazing. And I did think about the shade, but behind there is my garlic, and that should be harvested in maybe a couple of weeks. And I'm not thinking of planting anything after that. I'm thinking that the wildflowers just take over the place, because again, I say I'm leaving in 2 months. But another good thing to test of the shading of the sun, because right now it's like what, 1 o'clock, and the sun's pretty much right above me. So what you can do is get a piece of wood, and you can just imagine this is the green bean, and you hold it here, and as if you look down there on the floor, the shadow is like barely even touching. I'll go higher. Look, I've even gone higher than the fence, and you can see that the shadow is just touching the wood, so it wouldn't hinder, it wouldn't affect it in any way. So it's always good to check your shadow. So yeah, so let's get planting. Right guys, so just quickly, we're just at the melons and the squash section. Melons and the squash section. Melon and the squash section, there you go. And this side you can see is using that black tarp, and here I've used some black weed mat, because I did have black tarp on both of them, but it's just a pain in the bum having to keep them watered, because it rained like for about 2 days straight the other day, and I'm sure they get water underneath, because obviously I've made the kind of the banks and stuff so the water would kind of permeate and kind of percolate. That's the correct word, percolate, remember that. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation, percolation. Remember that in primary school. It's a good rhyme to remember, people. So it percolates in, but at the same time you can see the yellowiness of it. It's kind of, it gets really, 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 really hot. And so I'm going to experiment. So I only have this much left, unfortunately. So this guy doesn't get a blanket. Ah. So, but yeah, we shall see which works really. Because I've had both bits, I'll put them both on, but hey, I'll give them a good dousing today. And now they've got their flowers on, I'll play God with my finger and then start giving them a bit of feed. The thing is, when you have wildflowers around your flipping garlic, you can't see the scape so good. So what did I see it? There you go. The reason why having wildflowers is good, look at these cleavers. Where is it? We're going around in the camera. There you go, look, aphids and ladybirds. Galore, mate. Yeah, there's that scape. Always cut your scapes, people. You'll get puny bulbs if you leave them on. So guys, cleared the space over there, cleared the space down here. Let's start moving some hay. So guys, didn't rain, but I felt a few droplets, but I think it's just a little tiniest shower. But anyways, I'm finished now for the day. I'm going to do any more. I'm tired. I'm getting a husky voice. I've been sneezing like crazy. The mask helped though, but have a look at this pile. It's massive. It's as tall as me. There was so much hay there, and I fixed this down here. I just made this look a bit neater, so that'll kind of get trodden down. And yeah, I don't really need it anywhere else in the path. And I was thinking about putting something here, but if you guys are new here, this is the north side. So you can grow vegetables in the north side of town, but at the same time, west is better than north. So yeah, so I'm coming over here. Ta-da! Have a look. So there's about 3 good bags of old horse poo in there. So I'm gonna activate that soon. Most probably tomorrow with Cedar, he will like that. And just you wait and see what I plant up. So anyways guys, I'm gonna tidy up quickly, because it's a bit of a mess here, as you can see. Stuff wood all over the place. But yeah, come back and see how things grow. And have a good evening, have a good day wherever you are. And peace.